Hey, first of all, thanks for taking the time. How are you?
I'm doing great. Thank you for having me.
And I'll tell you what, when I found out I was going to be talking to you, I have like a billion questions, I guess. So I'll get right at it. You're the second person I've talked to, by the way, who's gone from behind the drums to in front of the microphone. I talked to Brandon the other day from Atreyu. First of all, I guess talk about that dichotomy to start things off.
Well, it's not something I really planned on doing. I just had been writing songs and singing on them and listening back for years, and it was actually kind of more new wavy synth based Gary Newman Devo kind of stuff, different material. And but I miss rock and I miss darker elements and heavy music. And I was like, you know what? I want to get back to that. I want to put a band together. But I was like, I want to sing, but I don't know what this guy should look like, like I don't want to just stand up there as myself. I want it to be a theatrical experience, kind of like when you go see Kiss.
Right.
Everything is measured against Kiss for me since I was six, so it's like, okay, I got to do something that's visually cool and something we haven't seen a million times. And I was like, I've never seen a devil frontman. So there you go. I'll be the devil.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, it's funny because Kiss is like, listen, guys around our age, I mean, we're kind of brought up on Kiss. I can't tell you the amount of guys like from the Anthrax guys to the Megadeth guys, their Kiss was like the band, Vinnie Paul and all those kind of guys, and of course, I'm sure you knew VP from being in Vegas, and he's probably told you a bunch of Kiss stories, right?
Well, I've seen like them do Kiss covers on their videos, but every time I was over at Vinny's house, I would wake up back at my house, blacked out on my couch, not knowing how I got there. So,
yeah, VP had that effect on people. There's no question about it. But getting back to your Devil Daddy, I guess alter ego and stuff, and you're talking about all the bands. Now, I guess one of the things that I wanted to ask you about was, obviously Five Finger Death Punch was its own thing. Did you ever have a chance to kind of incorporate those kind of influences you just talked about into the band, or did you just feel it wasn't the place or the vehicle for it?
No, I did. I mean, I was dressing up like a skeleton with face paint and a costume. So I was always kind of trying to get it as close to Kiss as I could, and then towards the end of the band, there was pyro and stuff. So it was turning into the spectacle that I always kind of had hoped it would. And, but now it's like, next level. This takes a long time to get ready. I mean, it's a very involved process.
But like as far as the music and stuff, did you ever try to incorporate some of that into Five Finger, but it just didn't fit or just wasn't the right place for it?
No, I never did. It was separate. Like that machine was its own entity, and we all kind of knew our roles and all did what we had to do to make it roll. It was never something I ever thought of doing. Jason and I would work on music, or Zoltan and I would work on music, or I'd be in the studio with Ivan or something, but it was never like, hey man, I've got this idea, it wasn't like that. But, I did contribute to some of the lyrics and some of the songs, melodies and stuff like that.
So when you go up and you're leading your own band now, do you ever like, I don't know, do you have an envision like what the drums should sound like? Are you still that guy, or have you kind of left the drums all alone now?
No, I mean, there's, there'll be demo ideas that pretty much are kind of what I'm looking for, but I'm not the kind of person that's like, you have to play it this way. I would hate to be told that.
Right.
It's just like you get the guy that's good enough, that gets it, that knows what to do. And, we have that, so I'm happy. And, but if it's would sound weird or like too much overplaying or something that it doesn't fit the song, I might say something then, but it's just not like that. Everything's good.
Now, did you look at other guys like, for example, like a Dave Grohl or Sully from Godsmack or something that did just that, move from the behind the drums to the front of the stage? Just kind of fascinates me because I think, like, especially for someone like you, you're behind the drums, and then like you were just talking about, I remember you playing and all the makeup and all this stuff. So you're kind of like hiding yourself as it is, but now all of a sudden you're out in front. And did you ever look at any of those other guys for inspiration, or because you're hiding yourself again with this Devil Daddy character, it's kind of the same thing?
Well, I mean, I think that you're going to interact with the crowd more. I have the mic, where when you're behind the kit, you're way away and you don't talk. So that's the difference. I always thought it was cool that Dave Grohl made that switch, Phil Collins. I think it's cool. But I don't look at it as like, oh, this is going to be scary. I just look at it, it's a performance. It's theater, man. It's supposed to be a good time. It's a show. It's interaction and it's fun energy. And uh, I can't wait to really get out on a proper tour like every other band that's waiting.
Yeah, yeah. Well, yeah, you and a million others for sure. And
Yeah.
of course, the song "Devil from Hell" is like I listened to that song right away, and you probably heard this before, but it's like just Rob Zombie just jumps to my mind.
That's cool. Yeah, I'll take that compliment. I very much like him, and I've always liked his stage shows and things like that. So it's kind of got that bluesy little stompy feel to it, but it kind of explodes. I think it's the great, like the perfect introduction for our band for people to hear.
Yeah, I was thinking, man, maybe you guys should hop on a tour with them. That was the first thing I thought of when I saw that. And it's like you're right about that bluesy. It's almost got like that John Five kind of feel to it.
Yeah, I don't know even how. I was like, I think I was asking the guitar player, I'm like, have you ever played with a slide? He's like, no, but I bought him a slide and then he just came up with it. I'm like, dude, that's killer. All right. I mean, if it just happened like that, it really did. So
No, so do you have any plans for 2021 as far as tours? I mean, it's kind of a question a lot of bands can't answer, but is there anything you're kind of working on?
we're talking right now. We're trying to get on this tour that I can't talk about, but there are some one-off shows that I know are happening. It'll all be announced further down the line when we're ready, but we're definitely putting something together. I just don't know if it's going to happen or not. We're so many bands are trying to get on that tour, so we'll see. But it's in talks.
Yeah. So you're just talking about like, your influences growing up with Kiss. I know you're a Bowie guy and stuff like that. So then you put out that record Songs to Stalk You By last year. How many other covers do you kind of have like kind of waiting in the wings?
Well, there were about 6 on that, and I don't think we've experimented with any others, but I think we'll probably re-release that thing around Record Store Day as a limited kind of thing. I'll bring that back.
Yeah, no, that's cool. I just thought about this. So, Five Finger obviously did a bunch of covers. Was that like tell me about the process of doing covers with Five Finger. Was that like something that you guys it seemed like there was a cover, I know you covered Typo Negative and they would do the same thing kind of. They always put like a cover on their records. Was that something that you guys thought about in Five Finger?
You know what? The cover started happening because we only had one album out, but we were starting to headline and we didn't have enough material.
Oh.
So we're like, we should probably come up with some covers or something to fill up the time. And so we were playing like Bad Company and we did a song by Faith No More called From Out of Nowhere.
Mm.
And I remember playing those a few times. And then when it was time to do War's the Answer, we had talked about actually adding Bad Company on the record, and a good thing we did because that really helped launch that band and to be much bigger than it was.
Yeah, that really did catapult the band. I remember one of the shows here. Speaking of Vinny, I don't know if you remember, but I think I interviewed you the one day when you guys were here. I know I interviewed Vinny and Rob Caggiano. It was the only time apparently they ever did an interview together. Rob told me later, but anyhow, that was at the CompuWare Arena up here in Detroit. And man, that was like the first time I ever saw you guys like really headline. That was like maybe a 5,000 seater or something. That was just chaotic that night. And that place isn't known for holding concerts, so it was really cool to see you there too.
Every time we played in Michigan, we were always well received, and it was always crazy. The fans really like rock, and so I always look forward to getting there, whether it was the Machine Shop or the big arena. Exactly, yeah, man. I love that place. So many good memories there. But all the fans love rock. It's like, why can't there be you in every state?
I'll tell you what, I've been here for 25 years, and man, I'll tell you, it's not a day goes by that I'm not grateful to be in a place that really loves their music like this. And it's like I'm not trying to fish for compliments as far as Michigan goes, but I hear it from a lot of the bands. But so you just mentioned the Machine Shop, so you're in a band that's starting from scratch, like Dave Grohl did, like we were just talking about. And I mean, what are some of the challenges that you face on a day-to-day basis from going from Five Finger and all of a sudden now starting with scratch with Psychosexual?
Well, certainly once we start touring, we'll be the band that's first, so we'll have tiny stage space, probably no dressing room, and we're starting over, and it's fine. We have to earn our stripes like every other new band. I'm excited. it doesn't matter because we did that in Death Punch too, and I had a blast. So no matter how much stage space we get or where we play, we're just going to do the best we can and have as much fun as we can and enjoy the process, because I've already gotten to do things on such a large scale in Five Finger, and it was amazing. That may not happen in this band, and that's okay. But you never know. I don't want to put limitations on anything, but I just want to do this because it's fun. And when it's not fun, I won't do it because I don't have to. But I love every bit of this process so far. It's been great.
Now you just talked about the music fans and stuff. Talk about the music fans of Psychosexual, because have Five Finger fans come over? Have you discovered a whole new fan base, or how does that work?
Kind of both. Like some of the Death Punch fans have come over. Some of them aren't digging it, like, because it's not like Death Punch. No matter what it is, it's not Death Punch. So no, we don't like it. And then there's a whole new set of fans that weren't necessarily Death Punch fans that are digging it, that are more fans of gothier type music. So I'm noticing a bit of both, but I think once the record comes out, there'll be something for everyone. It's pretty eclectic, and it's kind of all over the map. There's not 10 Devil from Hells, like there's some heavy songs, and there's some really gothy and some poppier stuff, and then some really heavy stuff, but it's cool.
Now, so far the stuff I've heard, your voice is kind of going through some sort of like, you have some sort of limiters on your voice or whatever the case is. Is that like it is with a lot of the songs?
I put a distortion on the Devil from Hell track just because it gives it that swampy Western thing. But no, I don't use like auto tune as my crutch like you hear so much in the rap world. Right. It's not like that. I mean, if there's something that needs to be fixed, it gets fixed, but that's how recordings are made. I do like vocal effects, so I love delays, and I experiment with cool different stuff. But I think when you hear the record, you'll hear all kinds of different styles and sounds, and the way things are treated.
And when does that record drop? I tried to find out. I must have missed it. When's that come out?
It's coming out May 14th, and it's called Unholy Hymns for the Children.
Yeah, it does have that gothy thing. And it's like, and by the way, I don't know if you ever talked with the guys from Five Finger, but man, maybe the Five Finger guys could have used some more hot chicks in their videos.
Well, I'm sure that if they have to make more videos, maybe they'll do that. I mean, they've made so many. But actually, we had one video where it was like that, where we had a bunch of hot girls in it. That was for Under and Over It back in like 2011.
All right,
but who knows if they'll do it again.
Under and Over It 10 years ago. Can you imagine how your life might have changed since then? I remember the first time I met you guys was at a record store here in Detroit. And it was around then. It was around 2010, something like that. And I remember my friend Shakes. Do you remember Shakes?
I want to say yes, but maybe I don't. How many years ago?
This was 10, 12 years ago, and Shakes was a tour manager, and he was like with Kid Rock's camp and all that stuff. But he knew Ivan in that, so I remember I didn't know him. But anyways, but yeah, Shakes says, yeah, say hi to Ivan. As a matter of fact, I remember I think I took a picture with a flip phone. That was how long ago it was.
Yeah, 10 or 11 years ago, I was still partying, so those are some hazy days for me. But if it was like 8 years ago, I can remember.
Yeah. So are you sober?
Yeah, I'm sober.
Yeah. And how hard was that?
It wasn't, because I just knew that what I was going to get if I kept going, and I got tired of feeling terrible all the time. So I was like, okay, enough is enough. I mean, I've done enough of that. It's not going to be different. Let's just stop. So I stopped.
Yeah. Good for you, by the way. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Yeah. And so I don't know is your relationship with the Five Finger guys still intact? You still talk to him and stuff?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I talked to Jason a lot, and Chris Kale. We text quite a bit. Talk to Zoe occasionally. I talked to Ivan a couple times since I left. He's been moving and doing his thing. I don't even know. I think he may live in Arizona or something now. I'm not even for sure. But yeah, I mean, I talk to Jason pretty much every day or every other day. He's still my neighbor.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I was going to ask you. So did you approach those guys with anything as far as like writing with the new music or with the band, or have they heard it?
No, I don't know. I mean, they may have heard something. I haven't talked to him about it. Jason contributed the guitar solo to a couple cover tunes but that's it. He's got his own thing going on, and I'm not for sure exactly where that stands, but I'm sure it's going to be great.
Yeah. Now, as far as Five Finger goes, so you left in 2018, the whole back surgery and that. Was there ever a chance that you might have come back?
No, I don't think
No.
so. It had kind of run its course for me. It almost 14 years. That's a long time,
Mm.
and I'd experienced everything that I thought I needed to in that situation, and I kind of left when I felt it was the high point, but also where I don't think my body could do what it needed to do in order for me to be satisfied.
Mm.
Athletes reach that point where you just can't play basketball like you could, when you were a few years younger. And I was like, I mean, I could probably play, but it's just not as stimulating as it once was. I mean, I'd done so much of that, and I'd been playing drums since I was 6 years old. So this is new and exciting and fresh and fun. So let's roll with this for a while and see how it goes.
Yeah, right, exactly. And I guess that the success you had in Five Finger gives you the outlet and the chance to do other things, right?
Oh, for sure. Yeah, we're real lucky. We were one of the last bands that actually still got to sell records. So,
Mm.
I mean, then it switched over to where like nobody buys records anymore. But yeah, we're real fortunate. We had a fan base that would buy the records, man. Every record was like gold or platinum. So we're really blessed.
Yeah. No, it's just I got to imagine like people that might be watching or listening are thinking, man, how could you leave Five Finger? But then of course you had those injuries like you said, and I suppose like the travel and just everything that went into it probably was you just had enough, huh?
Enough. Yeah. I mean, the travel, nobody really understands what that's like. You're in a different place every day. Your stuff is moved every day. It's just not, it wears you out. And the shows are cool. You get to play for lots of people, but there's so much of the other stuff that nobody sees or knows about. It's wearing. And 14 years of doing that, I was like, okay, I think I'm good. I've experienced it and it's been great, but I'm good.
Yeah, right. And after a couple years of kind of laying low, now you're ready to hop back on it and try to build something new.
Yeah, I mean, I needed to chill out for a while. I needed to break that cycle of go, 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 even though I didn't really stop. I mean, I came home and started working on other projects, but then I had a back surgery, which set me back for a few, like 6 months, and that was brutal. Um, but once I got through that, now my back's feeling really good. It's like Terminator fixed, so it's pretty cool.
No, that is. And it's like, what's the old saying? It's like you get paid to travel, but you play for free, right?
Yeah, for sure. That's definitely true.
Yeah. So you said your back is good now, you're ready to go, or will you always have like limitations moving forward as far as what you can do and can't do?
Yeah, I mean, there's some limitations. I'm not as flexible as I once was, but I can sure stand up and sing, even though I wear heavy platform boots, but I'll be able to pull that off.
And of course, yeah, and you were saying about like, the devil, you never saw like a devil frontman or something. So how long does it take you to get into all that gear?
We have it down now to where it's a little over an hour to get into it.
So if you were to play an opening set for like 45 minutes or a half hour or something, it would take you longer maybe to put your gear on than actually play, huh?
Yeah, but I plan on going to radio stations dressed up and maybe doing like an acoustic set. I'll get as much mileage out of that day as I possibly can, whether it's a meet and greet plus the show. Like for sure, I've already taken that into account.
Yeah, no doubt. And it's like, as a matter of fact, when I found out I was doing a Zoom with you, I'm like, is he going to be dressed up in his garb or what's going on here? I didn't know.
I'll tell you what, if it happens on tour and we do this again, I will be dressed up. But right now, no. Like it's a lot of work to get into it, and we're just in the studio making music. So it's right now I'm not in devil mode.
I got you. But the record's finished, right?
The record's done, but haven't stopped recording. Like to be honest with you, we're just starting record 6 right now. That's how much we've been working since because we were in quarantine,
Yeah.
like everyone. So I
Yeah,
haven't stopped.
that's the thing too. It's like I talked to all sorts of bands that their records have been finished or they've had a chance to like, maybe I was just talking to somebody the other day, the record was going to be released in October. I think it was the Atreyu guys. And they decided to work on it a little bit longer because it's like like the guys from the Offspring said, do you release this into a black hole, or do you hold on to it? So I guess that's another thing you got to think about too, right?
Yeah, but I mean, today things are consumed differently, and I kind of want to do like 2 records a year, like Kiss used to do in the
Yeah.
70s. Every 6 months, you get something new because people's attention spans are so short. They don't care. It's like, oh, cool, there's your record. What's next? I mean, that's really like that. I mean, even at Death Punch, we would release a record, and a week later, people were like, "When's the new one coming?" I'm like, hold on, man. Why don't you make the record? It's not that easy.
Yeah. Yeah. It's like you play in Detroit, and then in your Facebook, someone says 3 days later, "When are you coming to Detroit?" Right.
Exactly. Always. Well, when would you like us to come? We'll be right there.
Yeah, but you're right. Back in the day, like when Kiss would record like or release like the 2 albums and stuff, and it's been kind of cyclical the last, like, I don't know, 20 years or something. That bands would record like a record like every 2 or 3 years. There was that saying, you could spend the whole life making your first record, but only a year making the second. But it seems to have kind of shifted a little bit from that to every couple years now. It seems like.
Yeah, that doesn't interest me. We like to work. We like to make
Yeah.
music, and I want to do a bunch of different styles and just keep moving forward. Like my favorite artist is Prince and Bowie, and they would change identity from record to record. Like you would think, oh, cool, Purple Rain 2 is getting ready to come out, and he did something totally weird, and I thought that was so cool. So that's part of the thinking, yeah.
Yeah, I just saw something about Prince. He's going to be releasing a record coming out here soon, an American 2 or something like that. Did you see that?
No.
I probably shouldn't have said anything since I don't have my notes up here.
That's okay. But I'll do some research.
No, I was like, wait a second here. And okay, now I brought this up. Now I got to find it. Let's see here if I can pull it up real fast, because I just saw it. Prince unreleased Welcome to America out in July. So there you go.
Awesome. Yeah. I mean, I know that he has that vault full of stuff that's filled with unreleased recordings. So I'm so excited to yes, there's new stuff coming. I'm a huge fan. So I think it's great.
Now you're into the theatrical stuff like you were talking about. So do you have an appreciation for bands like Ghost and stuff like that?
Oh yeah. Love Ghost. I remember playing their first album every day in the dressing room and getting on everyone's nerves. I'm like, dude, Ghost. Oh, let's get Ghost on tour with us. And of course we never got to, but I love Ghost. I think they rule. I would love to tour with them. That would be awesome.
So how many times have you seen like an Alice Cooper?
Let's see. I've seen Alice. I first saw him in '87 on the Raise Your Fist and Yell tour, and I was right up front, and he chopped a monster's head off, and it shot blood all over me, all over my shirt. And I'm like, yes, it's stained. But then I washed it, and it came right out. I was like disappearing. So I was bummed. But I've seen him a few times.
Yeah, I think I may have seen that tour as well in '87 with Alice. But yeah, as far as theatrics go, I mean, he's tough to top, I suppose.
Oh yeah, he rules. I mean, that's the kind of stuff that just has such an impact on you as a youth, and it just never leaves you. It hasn't me anyway. I love him. I think he rules.
Yeah, Alice is the best. Well, I'll tell you what, Jeremy, wrapping things up here. So the new record comes out in May, like I said, the 14th, right?
Yes.
So for somebody that's going to go pick up this record, what do you think they can expect? Like what kind of what do you think will stick out to them right away? What can they expect to hear? That kind of stuff.
Well, I think Devil from Hell is a pretty good introduction. It just kind of gets the party started. It's one of those pump you up kind of songs, but there's so many different elements to the record sonically. There's different vibes. There's goth, there's pop, there's extremely heavy. It's pretty mixed. So I think if you like Death Punch, there's some stuff you'll like, and there's some stuff you probably won't like. But I think it's a solid record, and I think people are going to be pleasantly surprised, and they're going to like it.
Yeah, the stuff I've heard so far is, like you said, it's kind of all over the map, but I love that kind of industrial heavy feel that some of the songs have.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, well, there's definitely elements of that, and there's so much more. So,
yeah. Well, Jeremy, thanks for the time. I know you're in Vegas, right?
Yes.
Yeah, I'm in the studio here. It's like 98 degrees for some reason. I got to go get this fixed. But I appreciate the time, and good luck. And when you come through Detroit, if you're not dressed up as Devil Daddy, don't even bother coming to the station.
I won't, man. You have my word. I'll be dressed up.